Have you ever wondered why the ground suddenly shakes beneath your feet, or why rivers sometimes overflow and flood entire towns? These dramatic moments can seem mysterious or even frightening, but they're actually part of the natural world we live in. These are called natural hazards, powerful and sometimes destructive events that are caused by the forces of nature itself. From erupting volcanoes to hurricanes swirling across the ocean, these hazards are reminders of Earth's incredible power. Think of Earth as a giant, dynamic machine with energy constantly moving deep inside its core and high above in the atmosphere. This energy is always at work, shaping the land, stirring the oceans, and fueling the weather. A natural hazard is any natural event, like an earthquake, hurricane, or flood, that has the potential to threaten people, their homes, and the things we build. These events can strike suddenly or develop over time, but they all have the power to change lives in an instant. The key difference to remember is this: a hazard is the potential for danger. It only becomes a disaster when it actually impacts people, their communities, or the environment in a harmful way. For example, if an earthquake shakes a remote desert where no one lives, it's just a fascinating geological event. But if that same earthquake strikes beneath a crowded city, it can cause devastation and loss, turning a hazard into a disaster. When we talk about natural hazards, we're talking about the heavy hitters: earthquakes that rattle the ground, tsunamis that send massive waves crashing onto shorelines, hurricanes that unleash fierce winds and rain, and volcanoes that erupt with molten lava. Each of these can reshape the land and affect millions of lives. But natural hazards aren't just about destruction, they're also part of how Earth works, constantly reshaping its surface and creating new landscapes. Landslides carve out valleys, volcanic eruptions build new islands, and rivers change their courses over time. By understanding these powerful events, we can learn how to live more safely on our unpredictable planet. Scientists study hazards to predict when and where they might happen, and communities prepare so they can respond quickly and protect lives. These forces have been shaping Earth for billions of years, long before humans ever walked the planet. The landscapes we see today, mountains, valleys, islands, and plains, are all the result of natural hazards and the energy that drives them. All of these events are powered by energy from deep within Earth's core and from the sun above. This energy moves continents, creates wild weather, and keeps our planet in constant motion. Learning about natural hazards isn't about being afraid. It's about being smart, prepared, and respectful of the powerful planet we call home. By understanding these forces, we can protect ourselves and help our communities thrive, no matter what nature throws our way. Imagine Earth's surface as a giant jigsaw puzzle made of tectonic plates, always moving. Earthquakes happen when these plates get stuck, pressure builds, and then, snap, energy is released, shaking the ground. The underground breakpoint is the focus. The epicenter above is where shaking is strongest. Scientists use seismographs to measure earthquake strength. There are different waves: fast P waves, slower S waves, and destructive surface waves. Most earthquakes happen along plate boundaries, fault lines, where plates meet. If you map earthquakes, you'll see patterns tracing these boundaries. Knowing where they occur helps us prepare the most at-risk areas. Floods occur when water rises and spills over onto land that is normally dry, transforming familiar places into vast, temporary lakes. This sudden change can happen in a matter of hours or even minutes, catching people off guard and leaving little time to react. Floodwaters can cover roads, fields, and entire neighborhoods, turning everyday landscapes into dangerous zones. The water can linger for days or even weeks, disrupting lives and damaging property. The most common cause of flooding is heavy, prolonged rainfall that overwhelms the ground's ability to absorb water or rivers' capacity to carry it away. When the rain keeps falling, the risk of flooding rises quickly, but floods can also be triggered by other powerful forces. Storm surges from hurricanes push ocean water far inland. Rapid snowmelt in spring can send torrents rushing downstream. Dam failures unleash walls of water, and tsunamis can inundate entire coastlines in minutes. The force of floodwater is immense. It can sweep away cars, tear down buildings, and wash out roads, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Even sturdy structures can be no match for the relentless power of moving water. Even a few inches of swiftly moving water can knock a person off their feet, making it extremely dangerous to walk through. Rescue workers often risk their lives to save those trapped by rising waters. Floods don't just bring water, they carry debris like tree branches, trash, and even vehicles, making the situation even more hazardous and increasing the potential for injury and damage. That's why it's so important to never walk or drive through floodwaters. The depth and speed can be deceiving, and hidden dangers may lurk beneath the surface. Floods can strike almost anywhere, but low-lying areas, valleys, and floodplains are especially at risk. These regions are natural collection points for water, making them more vulnerable during storms. Major river systems and coastal cities face heightened danger, as rising water levels can quickly overwhelm defenses and flood large urban areas. To help protect people and property, scientists create detailed flood maps. These maps guide communities in planning, building, and preparing for future floods, making it possible to reduce risk and save lives. Hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones, these dramatic names all describe the same awe-inspiring natural phenomenon, the tropical cyclone. The name simply depends on where in the world the storm forms. In the Atlantic and Northeast Pacific, we call them hurricanes. In the Northwest Pacific, they're known as typhoons, and in the South Pacific and Indian Ocean, they're called cyclones. No matter the name, these storms are among the most powerful and destructive forces on Earth. Tropical cyclones begin their life over warm ocean waters, typically when sea surface temperatures rise above 26 degrees Celsius, or about 79 degrees Fahrenheit. The sun heats the ocean, causing water to evaporate and rise into the atmosphere as moist air. As this moist air rises, it cools and condenses, releasing heat and creating an area of low pressure. This process draws in more air from the surrounding area, setting the stage for swirling winds to develop. The Earth's rotation, through the Coriolis effect, causes these winds to spin, giving the storm its characteristic spiral shape. As long as the storm remains over warm water, it can continue to grow, sometimes reaching hundreds of miles across. At the center lies the eye, a region of eerie calm, often surrounded by the most intense winds and rain in the eye wall. The dangers posed by these storms are immense. Winds can exceed 74 miles per hour, strong enough to uproot trees, topple power lines, and tear roofs from buildings. Storm surges, walls of water pushed ashore by the storm's winds, can flood entire coastal communities in a matter of hours. Torrential rains can lead to flash flooding far inland, overwhelming rivers and turning streets into rivers. The aftermath can be devastating. Homes may be left uninhabitable, neighborhoods submerged, and entire towns cut off by floodwaters. The combination of wind, water, and waves can reshape coastlines and leave lasting scars on communities. These storms form in tropical regions around the globe, including the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. Each year, hurricane season brings the threat of new storms, and meteorologists closely monitor ocean temperatures and weather patterns to predict where and when they might strike. The destructive power of hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones comes from their unique combination of fierce winds, massive storm surges, and relentless rainfall. This trio makes them some of the most dangerous and costly natural disasters on the planet. That's why preparation is so important. Early warnings, evacuation plans, and community readiness can save countless lives. People board up windows, stock up on supplies, and sometimes evacuate entire cities to escape the storm's path. By understanding how and where these storms form, and by respecting their power, we can take steps to stay safe and protect our communities from their devastating impact. Volcanoes are Earth's pressure valves, openings where molten rock, ash, and gas escape from deep inside. Underground it's called magma. On the surface it's lava. When pressure builds in magma chambers, eruptions happen. Some eruptions are gentle, with slow lava flows like in Hawaii. Others are explosive, blasting ash and gas high into the sky and creating deadly pyroclastic flows. Volcanic ash can disrupt air travel and even affect climate. Most volcanoes form along tectonic plate boundaries, especially the Pacific's Ring of Fire. Monitoring volcanoes helps us predict eruptions and protect communities. Understanding their science is crucial for safety. Let's map where natural hazards strike. Earthquakes and volcanoes cluster along tectonic plate boundaries, like the Pacific's Ring of Fire, affecting Japan, Indonesia, and the Americas. Hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones form over warm tropical oceans, like the Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, and Pacific. Floods are common near major rivers and low-lying coasts, think the Ganges, Mississippi, and Mekong. Some places like the Philippines face multiple hazards: earthquakes, volcanoes, and typhoons. Overlapping hazards can trigger others like landslides after heavy storms. Understanding these patterns helps communities prepare for their unique risks. Geographic knowledge is key to resilience. Science and mapping save lives. Preparation starts with knowing your region's hazards. When hazards become disasters, it's about people. Lives are lost or changed forever: injuries, loss of loved ones, and trauma. Homes are destroyed, leaving families displaced and communities fractured. Schools, hospitals, and gathering places are often damaged, disrupting daily life and recovery. The emotional toll is huge. Fear, anxiety, and uncertainty linger long after the event. Children are especially vulnerable to trauma. Recovery is about more than rebuilding, it's about restoring community and hope. Support networks and first responders are vital. Communities show strength by coming together. Healing takes time, compassion, and resilience. Disasters shake economies as well as buildings. The cost of rebuilding homes, roads, and infrastructure can reach billions. Businesses shut down, jobs are lost, and local economies stall. Supply chains break, goods can't move, prices rise, and shortages spread. The effects ripple far beyond the disaster zone, sometimes worldwide. Governments and insurance face huge financial strain. Tax revenue drops, making recovery even harder. Attracting new investment and people back can take years. Economic recovery is a marathon, not a sprint. Planning and resilience are key to bouncing back. We can't stop natural hazards, but we can prepare. Science is our superpower. Understanding hazards helps us predict, warn, and protect. Early warning systems and hazard maps save lives. Engineers design buildings to withstand earthquakes and storms. City planners avoid building in high-risk areas. Building codes and smart planning turn knowledge into action. Everyone needs a plan. Know what to do, where to go, and what to have ready. Being prepared reduces fear and saves lives. Our planet is powerful, but with science and preparation we can live safely. Resilience is built on knowledge and action. Stay curious, stay prepared, and help build a safer future.